My name is Happy, I am the best Valorant coach there is, and today I'm bringing you 10 spots for free kills. First of all, you have split. When enemies are pushing in, usually defenders are defending, obviously, right here, and when they're coming out, they're gonna be checking site, blah blah blah, and then they're coming right here. You will be standing here. This is the position you're gonna be taking. Try to look for these 3 green lines and just line them up with the last line. You will feel it after a couple of attempts. Main point is they're not looking at you, and once you pick up your free kill, you try to get into elbow because usually they clear sight alone. So if you can get off like a dash, neon dash or something, you get into this position, you maybe even get away, play 4 or 5 retake, that's good for you. Now, while we're still on split, there's another position right here. If the enemies are playing a slow round, they're most likely going to be shifting and clearing angles one by one. That's when you come in. This is a potential headshot free angle machine. Interpret it the way you want. When enemies are coming out, they're looking heaven, then they're looking long, and they're opening up to you right here. Right here. Here, right here. One big thing that you have to know about this position: if the enemies are playing a fast round, usually there's gonna be like a neon slide, a jet double satchel, a jet dash, raise double satchel, and their duelist is gonna be like really close to this corner. So if you're trying to pick up someone, you're gonna have to have like a really quick way to get out. Like, they're coming, you know, they're coming. And so will be you when you find out about these next 2 spots on Icebox. Number 1, we have the early attack. If you can get on the zipline early, jump on top of this, and nobody hears you, just chill, just be like, oh, I'm a little rat. If no one's coming from belt, then you can just jump on top of this ledge and literally pick up anyone who is zipping up this tower. You will see their head all the way up here. You can pick up the kill. They can do nothing, they're harmless. You get them, you run away. As we like to say, we get away with a robbery. Here's a clip for demonstration. And another spot is exactly where I am right now. You get up the zipline. You can play this with any character. Scooch over to the right. And basically, you're trying to leave an inch. Imagine an inch. That's how much space you're trying to leave. And whenever enemies are going to be swinging, their head will be like somewhere here. If they're not swinging, their head is going to be in this position. But you should always hold for the swing because it's such an unexpected position. Now, after you take your one shot, only take 1 bullet. You always duck. If they swing, you headshot them, you duck, and then you slowly get down. While we're on Icebox still, and you're playing a character like Arena, or just low rank push down the tube type of shit play, which is not necessarily bad, you're gonna want to come up all the way to tube really quickly. You have to do this at the beginning of the round. And you see this little mark? You can call it a Valorant sign. You're going to want to line up your angle with the beginning of it. And just hold here like this. Because when enemies are going middle, don't obviously check this or whatever. And then they're swinging here. Look at this. They're right behind the middle of this. Right behind the middle of this. You're going to be standing right here. So you pick up the kill. If you can, try to run away. I don't know. I don't think you're going to be able to run away, but try your luck. Basically, main point, you get a free kill. After that, you're chill. And you know what? Whatever. I'll show you the 4th anyways. This is going to be a bonus. This is a bonus. A bonus for you. You're chilling right here. Enemies are attacking, right? They're clearing all of this. They're opening up to this. You're going to want to be right there. Wait for them to be in the middle of this line, because that's when they're really going to be scared. They're going to be looking right here, right? In the middle of these 2 lines. You're standing right here, in the middle of these 2 lines. Enemies will not look at you. pick up a free kill, and it's actually pretty easy to get out because usually there's like a smoke or something like that. If you're a character like Neon, Jet, Raze, Chamber, Yoru, Waylay, Omen, you can always get out. So Fracture is a huge map, and if enemies are not rushing all 5 down your side, most likely they're going to be going slowly, they're going to be lurking, they're going to be scattered all across the map, and that what makes this position really good. Basically, enemies are coming out like this, they're checking here, 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 and basically, simply lovely, you're gonna be standing right behind this arcade spot right here. The way you take your position is you look at this line, and as soon as somebody steps in, bam, they're never looking at you. In my whole career, I've gotten like one guy look at me, he still died. Once you get the kill, if you're Reyna, you just dash away. If you're not Reyna, I guess you go for more. Try to get your TikTok clip. I don't know. I don't care. Another position on Fracture is going to be for post plants on B. A. Basically, you're chilling on site. It's post plant. You're going to want to take a position on top and right here. You see those little box? You want to aim in the middle of it. The way it works is when enemies are coming out and clearing you, they're opening up to this angle, so that's where they're going to be looking. And they're also going to be opening up to you about their mental problems. If you need mental problem solutions, call 9. Okay, now we're moving on to our beloved Ascent. As you know, most of these positions are usually defense, because that's where you don't need a team and you can just play on your own. This spot is going to be in tree, and as enemies are walking out the main, if they don't smoke you here, you can hold a position exactly where I'm dropped right here. So, when enemies are coming out, they're looking here, they're looking here, 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 maybe heaven. Right? You're standing right there. It's a really safe spot for you to get free kills. In my life, nobody has watched this unless there's like already 4 of them rafters, and this is literally the only spot that they can watch. Unless that's the case, the enemies will never notice you. Now I'll give you a post plant position. Ooh, post plant. That's nice. Not a defense. Finally happy. Something useful. So your post plant on B, post plant means you planted the spike, you're waiting for the enemies to push from somewhere. Usually, some people might hold like this, wait for them to jump out, maybe play backside, blah, blah, blah. But you are smarter than that. You are a happy viewer. So, what you want to do, come all the way into a main. It's B. Basically, you're just gonna want to check anyone's pushing you. No, that gives you like a 25-second timing for you to hold. And yeah, you just hold an angle like this. When they jump out, spam the shit out of them, and always use any utility like a Molotov, a flash, a Sova little and you just kind of shoot them, because that's what you do when you want free kills. You shoot them. You do have to realize, by the way, guys, that most of these spots are playable with any character. On most of them, you don't need an ability to like escape. None of that. That's no. We want to play like a Sky and still have all of this knowledge. So my last position is going to be on bind. You're defending a site. If enemies are pushing out showers, instead of holding this angle, which I always differentiate this. If I'm an attacker and I peek this guy's getting laid out. Never have I ever died to this position. You know what the best part about it is? You don't have to hold it. As a defender, you walk a little bit to the right, and all you do is just tap him in the head. Tap him in the head. If you don't feel like fighting, boom, 2 steps to the right, you're chilling. If there's side of plan, maybe spam a little bit of this, you know? So, thank you for watching. All of these spots are amazing. I'm going to be using them more, as I just reminded all of you about it. Smash like,